After the battle concluded, Dustin, Natasha, and some members of the Harmon family had supper together. It was midnight when he returned to the medical center, which was still brightly lit. He entered the center and immediately saw the stunning Dahlia Nicholson, who was merrily chatting away with Caitlin Lawler. At that moment, she appeared more easygoing than how she usually presented herself. "Icy. Mr. Rhys, you're back." Seeing Dustin, Caitlin stood up and greeted him. "Have a chat with Ms. Nicholson. I'll serve supper." "It's okay. I had supper before I came home." He smiled and turned his attention to Dahlia. "Why are you here?" "I'm here to thank you." She flashed him a rare smile. "If you hadn't saved me yesterday, I would have been screwed. Never in my life would I have. Thought that Matt Laney was a phony bastard." "You're most welcome. I'd offer the same help to anyone in that situation," he replied unemotionally. "Why? Are you still upset?" Her tone softened. "My mom was a little rash. There was a misunderstanding. I'll apologize to you on her behalf." "We're sorry." Dustin was rather surprised by her action. In his recollection, Dahlia was never one to back down. It was unusual of her to offer an apology. Still, the apology arrived too late. "There's no need to apologize. After all, this is not the first time I'm misunderstood. It doesn't matter to me." He shrugged, looking unbothered. "Dustin, I know you were treated unfairly and went through hard times. I promise that I'll never treat you badly again," she declared with a serious face. "What was that?" "That was out of the blue." He stared at her funny. She took a deep breath and mustered up her courage to say, "Come home with me. All right?" His body froze at the simple suggestion, and complicated emotions clouded his eyes. Had Dahlia asked him earlier, he would have agreed to her suggestion without hesitation. Alas, after experiencing a series of challenging events, he was bone-tired, scared of being hurt, and had moved on. Although he still had feelings for her, he refused to experience the past anymore. His life in the past was one of silent suffering. "I know you're in a difficult position. You don't have to give me an answer now." Dahlia merely beamed at him. "I have thought it through. From now on, I will take back what's mine. Even if I have to fight against Natasha Harmon, I will never back down. You know me well. I never give up until I get what I want." He was taken aback by the serious expression on her face. "Did you tonight?" Dahlia was known to be distant and drink-haughty, never sparing anyone a display of friendliness. It was hard to believe she'd make that remark with a belligerent attitude. What had gotten into her? "I'm not drunk. In fact, I'm very sober. When you're free, relay my message to Natasha. Let's compete fairly. And we shall see who's the winner." With that, she stood on tiptoe and gave him a sudden peck on the lips. She coolly marched out of the medical center, but her flushed face betrayed her emotions. Dustin was frozen on the spot as he tasted her sweetness on his lips. Was he ambushed just now? Since when did Dahlia learn to flirt? He wondered if women were all fickle-minded. "Mr. Rhys, if it's inconvenient for you to relay that message to Ms. Harmon, I can help." Caitlin, blushing in embarrassment, twiddled with the hem of her top. After all, that was a scene only found in TV shows. "What nonsense! Go to bed." He glared at her, to which she responded by sticking out her tongue. She ran into the guest room but soon poked her head out and questioned timidly. "Mr. Rhys, which one of them do you love? You little rascal! Why do you keep running your mouth?" Dustin grabbed a duster and acted as though he wanted to give her a good whopping, and she quickly disappeared into the room out of fear. After a quiet night, Dustin woke up early the next morning, stirred by the memory of the kiss from the day before. He had tossed and turned in bed, feeling disturbed by it. "Oh, Dahlia, why did you show up from nowhere just to mess with me?" he wondered.